Why would someone want to develop their skills to be able to tongue block bend if their pucker bending skills are already good? It gets down to context, and especially if someone who really likes the sound of post-war Chicago blues, Little Walter, George Harmonica Smith, Big Walter Horton, Sonny Bill Williamson, and the new players who play in that style, Rod Piazza, William Clark, Kim Wilson, Mark Hummel, Jerry Portnoy, the list goes on. All these players play in that post-war Chicago style, especially the pre-war players. When you're listening to players like D. Ford Bailey and etc., you're talking about players who were very, very much tongue block players. Both sides of the mouth, bending, everything's done in a tongue block. It gets down to that the tone is really superior for traditional blues harmonica playing in a tongue block. And right now, as a pucker player, and you are adding tongue blocking techniques to your playing, you're using tongue blocking for what it sounds good for, the slaps, the pulls, the octaves, those type of things. But you can't do those techniques while you're bending. But what if you want to hit a slap note and then bend it afterwards? I'm on a C harmonica. If I slap a Fi draw, I want to be able to bend that afterwards so I can play something like this. Or I remember as a player growing up on this instrument, I'd play a line like, then I want to hit a bend on a 6. I'd have to switch to a pucker to hit the bend, then switch back to tongue block because I want that tone of those slaps. And like anything, you can get good at it, but what if I could stay in a tongue block? I can slap that 6 and then go into the bend if I want, or I can just jump right into the bend staying in a tongue block. And it gets down to efficiency, and it'll always sound better if you're able to play a lick more efficiently, because it gives you more time to add nuances to your playing, the vibratos, the tremolos, the dynamics. Good technique will equal good playing. So, tongue block bending, the reason for that is that you can create a bend anywhere on the harmonica, whether you're tongue blocking or, of course, when you're puckering, you can do your pucker bends. Where did I first learn it? I first learned it when I was developing my third position skills. And it was when I was at that 4, 5, 6 range. I wanted to be able to hit those bends amongst all those great slaps and pulls that I was doing. So I developed the skill to be able to tongue block bend. Tongue block bending is not any different than pucker bending. The actual process and what the harmonica needs from our mouth is the same between both embouchures. Just a reminder, in your bending study 1, I talked about the sh area for the higher bend like a 6 draw, the k area for a middle bend like a 4 draw, or a k for the deepest bend on the harmonica. In a tongue block, our tip of the tongue is on the face of the harmonica, so we rely on the different parts of the tongue that humps up for the bending process. Creates the bend. On my 3. Pucker's the same, it's just that you're free to move your tongue back, so you got a little bit more freedom to dial in where the bend is. Well, even for a good pucker bender, you still need to use different parts of the tongue, because if you use more of the front middle, you still can't get a 2-draw bend, say on an A harmonica. You got to hump up a little bit further back of the tongue, which is further back in the mouth. So you still use the different areas of the tongue when you're puckering. It's just that that's what you have to rely on for your tongue block bending. Is tongue block bending harder than pucker? Absolutely not. It's just whatever you get used to. Will it feel harder if you learned in the pucker world first? Absolutely. Because you've developed a skill up to this point to pucker bend, and you have to start all over basically in the tongue block world. But don't be in a hurry. Again, you're a human being. You can do anything you want to do as long as you give it time. You don't know when you'll be able to do it, but you know you'll be able to do it.